Imagine relaxing with your friends over a cup of tea, and 5 seconds later, everyone thinks a baby is about to be born in the living room. That's exactly what happens in this hilarious Friends scene. The scene begins like any other episode of Friends. Everyone is chatting, throwing jokes at each other, and nothing feels out of the ordinary. Then Phoebe takes a sip of her tea. She suddenly pauses. For a split second, everyone, including the audience, thinks she's reacting to the tea. But she's not. She quietly says she thinks she just felt a contraction. And just like that, the entire room goes into full panic mode. But here's where the scene gets even funnier. Instead of worrying about Phoebe, Monica's first concern is her apartment. She blurts out that Phoebe can't have the baby there because the apartment hasn't even been properly sterilized. Only Monica could turn a possible childbirth into a cleaning emergency. And then Joey makes everything even worse. Trying to be helpful, he starts giving dramatic movie-style advice about boiling water and tearing up bedsheets, as if they're stuck in a 1950s hospital drama. Of course, none of that actually helps. Phoebe stays surprisingly calm. She reminds everyone that doctors had warned her about something called false labor, where contractions can happen before real labor begins. For a moment, everyone finally relaxes, or at least they try to. Because the confusion isn't over yet. Phoebe asks someone to grab the pregnancy guide. Rachel runs off in a panic and comes back holding the Bible. It's such a simple mistake, but the timing makes it one of the funniest moments in the entire scene. But the writers save the best joke for next. Someone asks the obvious question. How do you even know if it's false labor? Instead of giving a complicated explanation, Phoebe responds with the perfect deadpan joke. Basically, if there were already a baby here, we wouldn't still be wondering. It's quick, it's unexpected, and it's exactly the kind of humor that made Friends legendary. But here's what most people don't notice. Hidden underneath all the comedy is a surprisingly emotional moment. Phoebe admits that she's finally reaching the end of her pregnancy. For most mothers, that's the beginning of a brand new life with their baby. But Phoebe's situation is completely different. That quiet realization gives the scene a bittersweet feeling without ever becoming overly dramatic. And just when the emotion starts to build, the show immediately breaks the tension with another perfectly timed joke. That's the secret behind Friends. It never lets the comedy disappear. But it also never forgets to give its characters real emotions. And that's exactly why scenes like this are still making people laugh decades later. What do you think? Was Monica's panic, Joey's advice, or Rachel bringing the wrong book the funniest moment in this scene? Let me know in the comments and follow for more Friends scene breakdowns.